Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by notice sent to the Star Ledger, the local source, and posted in the main lobby of the municipal building and on the Township website. I would now like to ask Dave Penna and Jerry Gerbauer of American Legion, Springfield, Post 228, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I ask that you please remain standing for a moment of silence for all our servicemen and women who are defending our freedom near and not so near. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Capides.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Weber.
Here.
Committeewoman Du Bois.
Here.
Committeeman Huber.
Here.
Committeeman Kaiser.
Present.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We certainly have a packed room this evening. First, before we have some swearing-ins, but before we do that, just some general announcements. Earlier today, just right up to this meeting, the New Jersey Department of Transportation was here to speak about a preliminary design for the replacement of the Morris Avenue Bridge. Preliminary designs happening now, and construction is set to begin winter of 2020. So it is rebroadcast on television, that meeting, if you want to find out any information. But again, New Jersey Department of Transportation was here. They showed plans, sketches, and their design for what they anticipate going into that construction again in the winter of 2020, winter of 2022. Also, I don't know if you noticed, we've had the flashing light addition to the pedestrian crossing right in front of Jonathan Dayton High School. Our solar-powered pedestrian light is activated on both sides of the street. For anyone who wishes to cross, you would just press that button, it would flash, and I'm going to remind all motorists that that sign is up and active. And if that sign flashes or you see anybody walking in that crosswalk, it is the law that you must stop for those pedestrians.
I can cross that one off. Thank you.
You got it.
Damn.
Springfield Interfaith Clergy Council, with participation of the Township Committee, will hold the community event annual Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Vigil for Peace on Monday, January 20th at noon right here in Town Hall. Weather permitting, the Environmental Commission will be doing a cleanup at Laurel Park on Sunday, January 19th at 11 a.m. Follow the path next to the tennis courts. Gloves and bags will be supplied, and volunteer hours will be given. And finally, the Township extends its condolences to the family of Ralph DeFino, age 84, a lifelong resident of Springfield, who passed away on December 22nd, 2019. Committeeman Huber, you wish to speak about that?
I knew Ralph for over 50 years. Those of you who know him, the fire department got to know him a lot. Going over to his house, helping him and all that. He would give anybody anything. If he didn't like you, he didn't want to be bothered with you. But he was always there. He was a friend of mine. He hired me when I was 17 or 18 years old at a gas station. His father owned Sam's gas station. I'm sure some of you remember that, where the BP is. He'll be missed. And he was an elk forever. And he believed in everything the elk stood for. But his family and that, my condolences to everybody.
Sorry for your loss.
Okay.
And last but not least, before we do the swearing-ins, this month is Radon Awareness Month, and Deputy Mayor Weber is going to read our proclamation.
All right, so we have the proclamation for Radon Action Month. Whereas elevated radon gas within homes has been identified as a significant public health concern, and whereas radon is naturally occurring radioactive gas that is second leading cause of lung cancer, causing as many as 500 lung cancer deaths annually in New Jersey. And whereas elevated radon levels are found in 1 in 15 homes across the U.S. and pose a serious health threat to families residing in these homes. And whereas any home may have a high level of radon, even if neighboring homes do not. And whereas radon testing is easy and inexpensive, and elevated levels of radon can effectively reduce the cost can be effectively reduced at the cost of a typical home repair, and whereas a significant number of homes in the Township of Springfield are likely to have elevated levels of radon. Whereas if all New Jersey homes within radon concentrations at or above 4 Becquerel liters were mitigated, about 83 lives could be saved this year. Now, therefore, I, Christopher Capadese, Mayor of Township of Springfield, on behalf of the Township Committee and residents of the Township, do hereby proclaim the month of January 2020 as Radon Action Month in the Township of Springfield, and we do call upon all residents who have not yet tested to test their homes for radon and to reduce radon levels if elevated levels are found, to protect their families from serious health risk of radon. To assist residents with the radon testing of their home, radon kits are available at the Health Department free of charge January 15th to March 15th of 2020. Let me say this about radon because I happen to know a little bit about it, doing what I do now. It's very easy to fix. It's nothing that you should not take action on, especially if you have a basement that you spend a lot of time in. It's an easy fix. It's a quick test. It's over in a day or so. You put the can there. You don't even remember it's there. And if you do have radon, you vent it out. You'll be very happy you have it vented out. So get your houses checked if you didn't.
We do have some kits in our administrative offices downstairs.
And we got kits downstairs also.
All right, thank you, Deputy Mayor. And finally, Resolution 2020-56. The wage is listed as $20 per hour, not $21.65. With that being said, it is now time for 2 swearings in. The first one this evening is for Fire Captain Salvatore Cacusa.
Where was Miss Sherman? Oh, here. Come on, get a picture, too. She's gonna wait, please. They please.
See if we can up with Jeff here.
Here she comes.
Face the crowd.
Repeat after me. I state your name.
I
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United
I
States
will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people.
and that I will faithfully,
I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of,
all the duties of the office of fire captain
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
kitchen.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
That was bad. It's on the 27th. Jesus. You ain't kidding. You know what you're going to do when you in the end. Don't let the door hit you crack again.
Does anyone else find it ironic that so many people are here for Sal that we are probably breaking fire code? Or is that just me? We won't tell anybody, though. Well, nobody watches. It doesn't matter.
And everybody's here.
Okay, just real quick. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the committee, the mayor and council, for keeping our ranks and promoting our latest captain and filling one void in the department. I look forward to working with you guys in 2020 and moving in a positive direction. Sal, your family, congratulations. We're going to work together, move this department, continue to move forward. I'd also like to take a moment in time and recognize a couple chiefs in the department. Retired Chief Sanford, Don Schwartz, both Springfield chiefs. A couple captains here, Aldo Pagnata, who Sal is replacing, Battalion Chief Boyle, Deputy Chief from Newark, Al Carlucci, Captain Pizarro, Lou Giardino, Kenilworth. Just a testament that our brothers are here to support us throughout. And I really appreciate the public coming out to support Sal. We look forward to serving you guys. Congratulations to the First Aid Squad, Chief Cook. My brother in blue, always there for me. Congratulations on your new hire soon. And Sal, once again, congratulations. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And it is now my honor to swear in the Springfield First Aid Squad 2020 officers. So I'm going to ask President Liz Fritzen to come up to the front and join me as we swear in the following. President Elizabeth J. Fritzen, Vice President Terrence Rose, Treasurer Marlon Naparano, Recording Secretary Samantha Miller, Trustee Martin Gornstein, Chief Apol Mullick, Deputy Chief Aquil Abbas, First Lieutenant Andrew Shanis, Training Officer Lieutenant Jeffrey Shanis, Supply Sergeant Joe Voorhees, and House Committee David Moss.
Been Moss been there forever. Take the microphone. Chris, take the microphone. Please. Being carried with you. Come on.
Okay, we all
Like
here?
a game show host.
All right. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of, according to the best of my ability, so help me God. Congratulations. Also, at this time, as we do every year, we're going to have a pinning of our new EMTs. If I mispronounce your name, my sincere apologies. If you are here, please come on up. Jeswin Chethalane, Tatiana Gonzalez, Yosef Greenwood, Rohan Gupta, Henry Miller, Jessica Miller, Samantha Miller, Brian Racone, and Leah Victoria.
Squeeze in.
Go like each other. No.
That's just Irish.
The two Miller people, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was trying to oh my, good luck. And the kids go on. Granddaughters, that's why he's in the front.
Cute.
Liz would like to say a few words.
Microphone.
This isn't your first rodeo, come on.
Good evening. First, I want to thank the captain and for his service. That's you, Captain. For your service and your promotion, and congratulate you on behalf of myself and the Springfield First Aid Squad. We've worked together with you for a long time. Well-deserved, and congratulations. Township Committee, again, thank you. This is something we've been doing on an annual basis. We appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to swear in our new officers every year, and it's really appreciated. So since we have such a big crowd here tonight, very, very nice. Actually, the people that we're the most familiar with are in the room: the Springfield Police Department, the Springfield Fire Department, who partner with us in providing superb emergency medical services for the residents of Springfield. I'm proud to tell everybody it's our 71st year. The Springfield First Aid Squad originated 71 years ago, and we're thriving, and we appreciate the assistance we get from the Township of Springfield, the residents, and also the police, the fire, and the auxiliary. Just to say, I'm thrilled with our newest EMTs. You can all see how young they are. So it goes to show you that we are continuing in our ranks of providing emergency medical services. Again, these are all volunteers, leaving their families, getting out of their bed at 3 o'clock in the morning on a snow-covered, freezing night. But again, it's something that they put a lot of effort into, training, countless hours of training, just to be there. The residents of Springfield should certainly feel safe and secure, and those also passing through the borders of Springfield are receiving fine service. So again, everybody, thank you so much for coming out, and again, Captain, congratulations. And Township Committee and the Mayor, thank you very much once again for letting us be part of your program. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. this time, I'm going to call for a 5-minute recess. Thank you.
Everyone's gonna stay.
Everybody staying?
Nobody's leaving.
Come on.
This is a tough ticket. Nobody's leaving.
Come on.
What's going on?
You know when I'm in the car. don't know.
Oh, Weber's not back in yet.
So what?
Where is he?
He ran outside.
All right.
Hold on.
No, not tonight.
Are you
You
off-
missed it. That
Are
was
you
last
offering?
night.
Committeeman Weber, please come to the podium.
Paging, Committeeman Weber.
He's always late.
I would now like to,
Uh-oh.
go ahead.
Oh, man.
Go ahead.
I'm having some family and friends over at the Springfield house.
Okay.
You guys are more than welcome.
Better late than never.
All right. Thank you. This is
Hey,
probably going to be late tonight, but we will appreciate it.
Congrats again.
Thank you. Congrats again. Thank you. Well deserved.
That'll be real stressful.
Now, comments from the public. Anyone wishing to comment on agenda items only? Captain, how are you? Seeing none, I'm going to move on to reports. First up is we always, just a small little change for this year, since we always seem to sneak our administrator in at the last minute. We figure we just give him a whole section of the report to speak on. So new this year is our administrator's report, and with that, Mr. Basicolo, the meeting is yours.
I will be brief. I have two things that I wanted to bring up from the state. We did get a response back on,
Okay,
Get a horn.
all right?
That was, I think, the coolest thing I've ever seen.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, pardon me. Thank
So-
you, Mr. Bartosh.
So on Salter and Brook, we did the improvements. We got a letter back from the state that our final change orders and everything were approved. We got about $200-some thousand coming back for that one. We also filed the paperwork for the generator that was done. I believe this was at the firehouse. There's about $100,000 of that we should be getting shortly. That paperwork was sent in and was accepted. Just a quick update on the developments going on around town. The Gomes project, we're finally down. It looks like the last issues have been settled as far as the building itself. They're going back to the planning board. Their next proposed date is February 3rd. We only have an issue with the fence that has to be taken care of. Saks property, we're basically, Springfield is done with Saks. They're going before Milburn in March before their planning board on the 20-foot strip. Now, I heard that the county has already approved the light. They're on board, so it's just Milburn now. Hopefully this is not a long process. It should be quick for them. As I was told, Scott from Garden Homes told them that there is no change to be made on the colors, on the building. It's strictly a site plan for the cutout for the driveways. So it should be very limited. And that's sometime in March. When I get the date, I will let everyone know, because it might not be a bad idea, Mr. Mayor, if maybe you attend that meeting as support for the project. Charlie Lark.
I don't mean to interrupt that, but I think also, as we talked, Matt, maybe we should pay Matt to go.
Yeah.
And if they have any concerns, let Matt go up and talk to them, so he can talk their language, without us
Yes.
without
I agree.
putting our foot in our mouth.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
I will talk to Mr. Jessup on that when the time comes. Charlie Larkin's property, I think you've noticed that the foundation is dug. We had JCP&L out there, I think, twice in the past week. What we're running into there is, one of the things that we learned after speaking to JCP&L, any project going forward, we should get JCP&L in on the front side, because then they can look at the drawings and everything and figure out if electric needs to be moved, where it's got to go, what's got to be done. What's happening with Charlie now, because he's building basically property line to property line, they're struggling on where to move the poles. So they're working on that. As soon as they get that done, Charlie can start putting his foundation in. He's got everything ready to go. Wawa, if you've passed, you see that they're making progress every day. They're going to be open. I don't know what date yet. I have not seen a date from them, but they've done a great job. They're right on schedule. The last thing I wanted to touch on, and I made a couple of copies of this, we now have SDL online for the building department. So residents, real estate agents, you can go in and look up a property and check on any open permits. You could check on your own permits if you're doing something at your home. So hopefully you won't have to come to the building department. You can actually request inspections. You can view details and status of your building permit. So there's a lot of things on here that you no longer would have to come in to the annex to do. You'll be able to do it online. So that's available. If anybody wants a copy, I'll leave them, and you're welcome to them. I think that's it for the moment, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, on,
I know, he said a lot.
no, on the, what did you just say, going up on Mars Avenue?
Larkins?
Oh,
Wawa.
Wawa.
Wawa, there are 8 stations for electrical, Tesla though.
Yeah.
I thought they were having 2 for Tesla and the other 6 were gonna be universal, but no. 8 things for electric cars. And they said they're gonna need them. There's gonna be it'll bring people into Springfield. So people from Short Hill spoke at the meeting as you were there.
Yep.
And said that they're looking for this. It's a fast charge, a regular charge, and they charge, with the credit card that Tesla has on there. I don't know how, but that's all.
Good, anyone else? No? Okay, finance?
Finance. Payroll and invoices, so I would like to make a motion to accept the total amount of payroll and vouchers for the period from December 10th, 2019 through January 14th, 2020 in the amount of $5,449,580.57.
I second.
Committeeman Kaiser,
Yes.
Committeewoman Du Bois,
Yes.
Committeeman Huber,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Weber,
Yes.
Mayor Capides.
Yes. No minutes and reports to approve. Ordinances, none for second reading. We have 2 ordinances for first reading. Madam Clerk, please read the first ordinance by title.
This ordinance, ordinance 2020-01, this ordinance amends Chapter 19, Street, Sidewalks, and Driveways of the General Ordinances of the Township of Springfield to modify provisions relating to right-of-way and street openings.
Mr. Mayor, as read by Madam Clerk, ordinance 2020-01, with publication on local source, January 23rd, 2020, the final hearing on February 11th, 2020.
Second.
Any discussion on this?
Any questions on that one? That's actually what we're trying to do there, is stop the utilities from digging up our roads right after we pave them.
How long?
5-year moratorium.
Good.
And there's also in there, what there will be in there, as you can read, is if they do have to do it, it's got to be emergency only. So in other words, it's got to be a leak in the middle of the street in order for them to dig it up. It's going to tell them they have to pave curb to curb, no little patching put in there, restore the street back to the way it was. So we're just trying to stop that. I feel like sometimes we're paving and they're right behind us digging. So
Smart thing.
It's kind of like cleaning your house when you have children.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Committeeman Kaiser?
Aye.
Committeewoman Du Bois?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Weber? Mayor Capides.
Yes. Second,
Ordinance, this is ordinance 2020-02. This ordinance amends the Township Code to create the position of Building Grounds Technician within the Department of Public Works.
Mr. Mayor, as read by Madam Clerk, 2020-02, publication in the local source, January 23rd, 2020, final hearing on February 11th, 2020.
Second.
Before, all right, well,
go ahead.
I'd like you to tell public what this is.
Okay. This is for a position to handle our buildings and grounds inside, instead of going out to outside contractors to do things. So we're going to have to post this also, quite frankly, in the union, but this will allow us to have somebody that'll come in and take care of the air, the heating, any small electrical, carpentry, that type of stuff. So that's the idea. Now, this is only adding it to the ordinance will add the position. This is not, and it's not awarding anyone a position at this time. There'll still need to be a resolution. You'll have to vote on that also before anyone is awarded the job. So this just creates the position right now.
Any further discussion, questions?
No.
Okay, roll call, please.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Committeeman Kaiser?
For purposes of moving this along, I'll vote yes, but with the caveat that I, down the line, may vote no.
Committeewoman Du Bois?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Kapidis?
Yes.
Do you want to discuss it now?
No, I would like to hear from the CFO when we ultimately get a person picked and make sure that we have the
Funds for it.
budget available.
Well, I mean, we can give that to you very quickly, rather than having you go home and not be able to sleep. Would you like to just give him those there's only a couple of numbers.
Basically, the DPW person hired at the end of the year, we hired a new person, the difference between the old person, new person, and the promotion, like if you increase, the salary would still be like $900 less than what we're spending.
Yeah, no.
So our total payroll for the year in DPW then is actually to the good by almost $1,000. We're not spending anymore, we're not going up.
Understood.
Okay.
We'll go forward.
Thank you. We're going to move the following resolutions by consent agenda. If anyone needs anything pulled, please let me know. 2020-47, 2020-48, 2020-49, 2020-50, 2020-51, 2020-52, 2020-53, 2020-54, I'm going to pull for the purposes of abstaining. 2020-55, 2020-56, 2020-57, 2020-58, 2020-59, 2020-60, 2020-61, 2020-62, 2020-63. Do I have a motion, please?
I will make a motion to adopt resolutions 2020-47 through 2020-63.
Second?
No, wait a minute.
Well, we're pulling 54.
54, I'm sorry, 2020-47 to 2020-53.
Right.
And then 2020-55 to 2020-63.
Thank you for picking that up.
There you go.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Okay.
Roll call?
Deputy Mayor Weber?
Yes.
Committeewoman Du Bois?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Committeeman Kaiser?
Yes.
Mayor Kapidis?
Yes.
Okay, Resolution 2020-54. This resolution awards a contract to Ben Schaefer Recreation, Inc. of Lake Apacon, New Jersey for Henshaw Playground equipment, and we do have a certificate of available funds.
Again, the reason I pull this is simply I'm going to just abstain.
Okay.
Motion?
Yeah, I move to adopt Resolution 2020-54 as read by Madam Clerk.
Second.
Okay, roll call. Committeewoman Du Bois?
Yes.
Committeeman Kaiser?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Weber?
Yes.
And Mayor Kapidis abstains.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, down to discussion and action items. We have a couple. We have two. First one is workshop meeting and agenda format. We have had some discussions about workshop meetings and how they could be most effective. And I have to thank Committeeman Kaiser for bringing this idea to our attention, and I think we thought it quite positive. And it's a slight change from what we were doing. We're going to abbreviate, we're still going to have everything included in our regular agenda. We're going to abbreviate the supervisor reports. We're still going to have the question and answer with them. We're still going to have the question and answer with our resolutions, and we're still going to have our question and answers with our ordinances. There will still be that general discussion. But the purposes of abbreviating some parts of the meeting is to have a topic to discuss each workshop agenda. So a topic of discussion will be decided amongst the Township Committee to talk about and provide more transparency to the public, to provide more transparency to the stakeholders of this community on this topic for discussion for plans moving forward. And I know that Committeewoman Du Bois and Committeeman Weber were working on this topic for a long time. I know that we've had several residents and several players come forward to speak on it. So we all thought that this would be a good first topic to discuss. So our first topic for our work session on the 27th is going to be the Ruby baseball field. So that means, I know there's been a lot of discussion in town about improving the field, making changes to the field, etc. So I'm inviting publicly anyone who has any role or anything to do with Ruby Field, whether you're a concerned resident, whether you're a player, whether you're a coach, whether you're a Board of Education member, whether you're a Board of Education employee, that has an idea or has some input of what Ruby Field could be or what you would like to see in Ruby Field. We are encouraging you to come forward to the same place, the same time as in this room, our work session, because there will be an agenda item on this work session for you to come and speak freely about Ruby Field. So that way we can get your input, so when we devise a plan for moving the field forward, we could take all of your comments into consideration. And for the future, again, we're going to pick different topics for every month and move forward from there in hopes that it changes up the format of our work sessions, maybe makes them a little bit more productive, gets a couple more residents involved, more transparency moving forward, and we'd hope that residents come and take advantage of that initiative. That's all I had to say. I don't know if anyone else on the Township Committee had anything to add about the new format.
No, I love it.
Yeah, good.
Yep, I think it's a good format to follow.
Yes.
We'll get there in a
Are
second.
we reaching out to people who are stakeholders?
To be honest with you, I'm not sure. I mean, if we reach out to people specifically,
I don't think we should.
I don't think we should, because
The
I
only
think,
problem
you
is I
know.
don't want people to say we didn't reach out to
Correct.
somebody.
But
Correct.
it's on TV.
Yep.
It's
It's going to be on Facebook. It's
going
going
to
to
be
be
on
on all
Facebook, so I'm against reaching out to people. In other words, you're gonna call me and say me. You're not gonna call, Erica. It's wrong.
That's my only concern, because,
No, I'm just wondering.
yeah, I'm
No,
not,
no,
I don't know, because I was asked that too, like, when we were talking about, and I didn't have an answer, because who needs to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people might think people should be there that you don't even know or didn't think of, it's hard, so I don't know.
It'll be on tap tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
So,
No pressure.
I haven't heard, if anybody wants it, I don't think there's anybody that doesn't have Facebook,
If you feel, and maybe perhaps if you feel that somebody should be there, if you want to call them, like, to let them know, but I think a formal invitation from the Township Committee, I think could lend to some issues.
Yeah, I agree
Lend
with
to
you.
concerns.
agree.
I don't think a formal invitation would be appropriate. But I'm certainly a phone call, say, hey, they're talking about this, you should show up this day, I think that would be sufficient.
Definitely.
All right, moving on to our next item. Discuss, approve request from First Presbyterian Church. Do I have I actually read half the thing, so I'll read it anyway. First Presbyterian Church to waive permit fee in the amount of $63 for their kitchen alarm, permit number 200006. Do I have a motion?
I would make a motion to discuss the First Presbyterian Church permit waiver.
Second.
Okay, I'll do a roll call. Committeeman Kaiser?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Committeewoman Du Bois?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Capides?
Yes. Does anybody have any unfinished business that they wish to discuss up here?
No.
No.
Okay, at this time, I open up the meeting to the public. Public comment portion of the meeting is open on any governmental issue.
No one seeing, no one.
Seeing, no, I'm kidding.
Mike Bartosh, 77 Tudor Court.
Never
In
heard of
reference to the topics, are you going to be accepting requests or questions from the general public.
Sure.
But you want to know if we're going to accept, like, in other words, if you just say, like,
I have a
I want
topic.
to put parks in my backyard, backyard. I mean, as long as you get in touch with, I guess, the mayor and, John.
We have 12 that we want to, at least we'd like to fill a calendar with 12. So if you have a topic we can certainly consider it.
And how much in advance time do you need that information?
Well, enough time, so like we said before, we could advertise it and do our due diligence to make sure the right stakeholders for that topic will be present at the meeting.
Great, thank you.
I think it's gonna be like flavor of the day kind of thing, like right now, this baseball field, we gotta get it ready by March. And I think that's how this thing's gonna kind of run a little bit, whatever shows up that week, that's really that important for that month, that's how it's gonna kind of go.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Do you want to hold off until the 27th now that we're,
Sure.
Sure.
yeah,
Why not?
yeah, just in case you can't make it the 27th.
I think it's a great idea. I think allowing for.
Sorry, you have to do your name and
Sorry.
address. Right.
Steve Rosenstock, 982 Jimmy Ridge Drive. There's a new mayor since I was here a few weeks ago. So,
It happens every year, we rotate.
It's like musical chairs.
Hopefully it wasn't something I did. No, I appreciate the opportunity. I think it's great to allow for a different opinion. For what it's worth, I don't feel people should be personally invited. I think get it out through social media and let people come who are interested and want to engage in the discussion. My only ask to what you said is that we come at a meeting with a decision to move forward because there is an incredible amount of urgency with the season coming up.
Thank you very much.
Definitely.
Anyone else? Okay, I'm going to close the public comment portion of the meeting, and I'm going to ask for a resolution. I see we have a resolution for executive session.
Yes, Resolution 1-1420, whereas Article 6 of the Open Public Meetings Act provides that a public body may hold a closed session, and whereas the Township Committee will during this meeting enter into discussion of the following matters: attorney-client privilege, contract negotiations, real property and redevelopment, attorney-client privilege, contract negotiations, labor contracts. Whereas the matters to be discussed in closed session are to remain in the strictest of confidence by all Township Committee members in furtherance of their fiduciary duties to the Township. Now therefore be it resolved, matters discussed at this meeting will be released to the public when reasons for discussing and acting upon them in closed session no longer exist.
Make a motion to go into executive session.
Do I have a second? Will I have a second?
Second.
Second.
I thought somebody said second.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. We are adjourned. Thank you. And we
No
are taking
action
no
will be
action.
taken.
Thank you. Sorry,